myself once again. So my name is Kamadin Kende. I'm your host for today, and I'm happy to have you here this evening. Today we have a very inspiring speaker that will be joining us on this wonderful session, Esohe. Esohe is a strategic builder, and she serves as a venture operator with over 13 years of experience. So driving innovation and also community uh, and scalable growth across Africa's startup ecosystem. She currently serves as the venture partner and at Venn Capital and director of programs at Business Front Incorporation. So aside that, she leads the design and execution at Venn Capital. So to develop a very high impact programs, communities, and also networks. So that support innovation and entrepreneurship. So SOE is a seasoned founder, and that is why she is very important for these sessions today. So she's a seasoned founder and a studio operator. So she also managed a portfolio of 12 startups, overseeing daily operations um, for two, while steering the broader venture studio. Our expertise spans strategy, product development, and many more. She's also the founders. She also serves as the founder as a startup advisor at the ALX Ventures for people who are who are conversant with ALX. She's also a VC fellow at Dream VC, a venture capital institute building investor capacity in Africa's and tech ecosystem. So she is a very competent and inspiring leader to lead us on these sessions today. And we have some amazing people that join us on this session. And lastly, aside our unique blend of operational excellence is strategic foresight and the impact of putting people first in everything she does. So, and she continues building people through her leadership skill, and also a lot of brand have trusted her capacity, and she continues to thrive and beyond. So today, let's give it up for Esohe as she join us for this inspiring section on startup building session with the Quara Build founders. So if you are here today, kindly just do some emoji to make sure you are currently with us. Thank you so much, Esohe, for joining us. I'm happy to host you once again. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Esohe. Kamadel is my guy. We both Dream VC alumni. Yeah, so I'm happy to be here. I heard you say that you introduced yourself, but I didn't quite hear anybody saying anything. So I'm just going to assume that the founders that logged in, they're actually on this call. Um, but let's just do a quick pulse check of the room. If you are currently a startup founder, raise your hand. You currently have a startup. It's a startup with a tech-enabled company. Not that you have a website for your company, you are building tech, right? So you are running a startup currently. Just raise your hand. Okay, one person. Who else is here? Okay, two people. Okay. So are we saying that we already have two founders on this call? Okay. Um, if you run a business here, that is not a startup. So you run a service business, consulting, trading. You run what people call an SME, but you run a business, but it's not exactly tech enabled. Can you raise your hands? Malhub and Olumo, please put your hands down. You run a business that is not a startup. Can you raise your hands? Okay. So my assumption is that people that are here only have tech enabled businesses. So I have a question. The rest of you that are on this call, is what do you people do? Dari, Mohammed, if I can have like one or two people. If you're not a founder on this call, can you raise your hands? Can
Okay,
everybody
to
here be
raise up your
founder?
hand, I guess many people do not know the hands feature because I know most of them is
Oh, I see.
aspiring startup. So please look at the
Okay, that's
button
very
in
important.
uh,
Okay.
in your
So
gadgets. There
let's
is a
let's let's make it easier for people then. Let's
yeah.
use the comment section. Let me go to the comment
Okay, good.
section, right? So if you let's make it simple. You have a startup currently that is live. That means your product is live. If I ask you for the website of your startup, you give me a link that is live today. So if you have a live product on the internet, right? Say yes. Just type yes. Let me see how many yeses we have. Say you type your domain so that all of us can think it without be slower. I have a live product on the internet. Type yes. Yes. Okay. So we have one yes. And we have another one. It's the only Olumo that has a live product on the internet. Okay, no problem. That's fine. Um, I am a startup founder, but I don't have a live product on the internet yet. So I'm still building my products, or I'm still in ideation stage, right? But you're a startup founder. So write type no. Trying to make this simple. I'm a startup founder, but I don't have a live site, a live product. So I have one no, two no's. How many no's are we getting? Okay. Three no's, four no's. Okay, so I have two yes and four no's. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait 1 more minute. Anybody else wants to join the conversation? Okay, so we have four no's and two yeses. So basically we have people who are trying to build, and then we have people who have a live product. Okay, I think I have a false check now. Awesome. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Esohe. From Lagos. I'm guessing that some of you are either based in Kwara State, Ilorin, or you are from Kwara State, Ilorin, even though you're not based there, right? Um, so I'm going to make this as simple as possible because of the type of audience that sorry, that we have here, right? So I would say the first thing I would say is that when it comes to building your business, you need to realize that a startup is supposed to be a fast scaling business. What that means is that you start the business today is January 2026. You start a business today. By the end of the month, you have 10 customers. By February, you have 40 customers. By March, you have 100 customers. So that's how the the textbook startup is supposed to grow. They're supposed to be flying. um, but in theory, that's in theory. In practical, not everybody has very speedy, fast growth, right? Another thing that is one of the principles of a startup is that you have a technology product, right? You have a technology product. So what that means is that whatever solution that you're solving, you've codified it into a tech product that people can only access when they go to your web app or they go to your mobile app. So you have a technology product. So the first principle is that you have a fast growing business, right? Usually that's a startup because a fast growing business is just that is scaled by technology, right? In a startup, right? So a fast growing business. And then second thing is that it's a technology business, right? It's not a brick and mortar. It's not a fast moving consumer goods. It's not FMCG. It's not a hospital. It's not a hotel, right? It's a technology product, right? The third thing that you want to check is typically for startups, because they are able to leverage technology to scale. What that means is that when you create your web app, right, you can go from 10 users to 1,000 users in 1 year on your web app, right? Now, if you were running a physical office and you were making product, let's imagine that you're into skincare. So you're making organic soap, organic oils, organic perfume oils, right? Cleansers, and hand wash, face wash. You're just making organic skincare products, maybe somewhere in Ilori, right? And let's say you started from home, and then from there you then went to rent a small shop to use, and you are manually waking up in the morning to make organic products. It will take you time to make products. And then for you to make more products, you will have to hire more. You have to hire people. You have to hire one or two people and then teach them how to make it like you're making it, right? And then you would then um you will then be able to make more, right? But if you're making, let's say making 10 maybe you're making like 10 bottles a day, right? You might not be able to go from 10 bottles a day to um 100 bottles a day if without hiring physical people that will join you, right? So which is why technology businesses are different. A technology business can have 10 users today if they build it properly, right? They can have 10 users today or 10 products created, right? And they can have 1,000 people in the next 3 months. Like, I'm not even kidding, right? Because the platform is not a physical business or a physical product. So the platform enables them to give more people solutions codified as products, right? And then scale the reach and impact of those products with technology, right? I'm taking my time to explain this because I have people in the room who are early stage founders, right? Now, sorry, there are some people that we call, we say that your business is not a startup. We call it a tech enabled business. What that means is that you have a core product. Usually, that core product is either brick and mortar or is service based. And then you then build a website, right? And you're leveraging some technology. So, for example, you can leverage payments on your website. You can add maybe a payment link. You can embed Paystack payment gateway, right? Embed the payment gateway called Paystack and embed it on your site so that when people come to buy your products, they can, they can add to cart, maybe it's e-commerce. They can add to cart and they can pay. right? Now that business may not be a startup. It may just be a tech-enabled business. Trust me, there are a lot of people that sell clothes here in Lagos. They sell Instagram vendors that sell clothes, sell shoes, sell perfumes. They have e-commerce websites that they build by themselves. If you go to e-commerce website, you will see the product, click on the product, open up, you add to cart, you got to cart, from the cart, you go to the place where you're supposed to pay, and then you pay, you put your card or you transfer, right? And you can get your product. That's an e-commerce website. That's not a startup. But doesn't mean that you cannot have an e-commerce startup. For example, Jumia is an e-commerce business, right? Jumia is a startup. It's not a small business, it's a startup. CDK, I don't know if you guys know CDK. Just as some kind of if you know CDK, raise your hand. Just raise your hand. If you know CDK, raise your hand. At this rate, may not work. Okay, if you know CDK, just type yes in the comment section. I want to just test the reach of the product. Okay, so one person knows CDK, Future African knows CDK, Ibuphone. And okay, so great. So this CDK is popular in Lorry. I'll let the founder know. Okay, fantastic. So CDK is not a website, it's not a e-commerce site. CDK is a startup, proper startup, like proper one. They have thousands of users, thousands. They have thousands of users. In fact, father was telling me that they have thousands of people join their website every day, not every month, though, every single day. Every single day, you have thousands of people that find CDK and open account to buy something every single day. That is not possible if you. The only way you can do that kind of thing is for you to run a very big business. Maybe you're like Shoprite, or Shoprite is not longer serious. Let's say you Boku, right? If you're as big as Boku, you can have 1,000 people coming to your e-commerce, your coming to your, what they call these things, your outlet, basically, coming to this outlet. And it's possible. If you are Shoprite Boko, 1,000 people can come to your outlet every single day. But guess what? Boko has what, 20, 40 branches, right, in Nigeria. Now, and they spend billions for that. So for them to achieve that same 1,000 people coming, they have to spend billions, right? Now, CDK in less than 5 years is having the same thing with technology, and they only have a place, a I don't know what's called, I won't call it a factory. They have a warehouse. What's the word? A warehouse where they receive the goods and from there they dispatch, right? But that's because of their operation. I know startups that are making a lot of money. They don't have office. Maybe they're using virtual office. They don't have any serious office, but they're making a lot of money. They're making money. I have a client right now. I'm currently raising fund from. In 3 years, like not 10 years old, just ordinary 3 years, the guy went from zero to making sales of $3.5 million. This is not that they told me. Oh, I saw it live. In 3 years, the guy has 300% year-on-year growth. I'm trying my best not to use jargon so that you guys understand me. What that means is that, let's say in year one, he made $100,000 as sales. Times three, in year two, he made 300,000, right? Then times three, he makes 900,000. That's what I mean. So every year, he was like multiplying what he was doing by three. And it's technology that enabled him to do that. Very few see, if you're doing e-commerce business in Nigeria, ask them their margin is like, if you have cost price and you have selling price. So if you sell a perfume oil for 2,000 naira, let's say you buy it for 1,000 naira, right? Your gross profit is the 100 naira, right? 1,000 naira, sorry. Now your margin is 50%, because if you put your how much you spent, cost of goods, right, on top of total money and multiply by 100, you get 50%. So that's what I mean by margin. I'm trying not to use jargon, and every time I use jargon, I will try my best to explain. Now, if you don't understand anything I say, please just write in the comment section, explain what this means. I promise I will slow down and I'll explain it, right? So I'm saying that scale It's one of the things that is expected if you are running a technology startup, a technology company. Now, a lot of us, especially when you're not in major cities like Lagos, um, you may not have the resources to to build technology startups. So the first thing I will tell you is still like an artist, still like an artist. See, a lot of the Lagos startup guys that are doing well, let me tell you what they happened to them. They went for one year masters in the US or UK sometimes, not all the time, right? They saw a product that worked in the US or UK, and or they researched it when they were here in Lagos, and they saw that, oh my god, it works there, and then they came back to research and to find how they can, use that product to use that create a similar version in Nigeria, right? And they did their research and they adapted it for the local economy, and it worked. So sometimes you don't need to like so when you are in a developing ecosystem like Para. I know you guys have Inno Innovation Hub, which I'm sure you guys do some work with. I hope. Do you guys do some work with Inno Innovation Hub? Fantastic. So my brother, my sister, follow maybe Tech Point. Yes, follow Tech Point. I work at Tech Point. Follow Tech Point, follow Tech About, follow others. But if you can come to Lagos like once a month, once or 2 months or 3 months, attend a major conference, meet people, like interact with companies here, or just do your research. Find the companies that are doing very well in the Lagos. A lot of people, Lagos has what 25 million people. A lot of companies don't need to leave Lagos. Like they, there are enough people in Lagos for your company to be successful. Do you understand? So you don't have competition. They are not coming to Ilorin. I promise you, they are not. I said they are money point or pay. They are not coming. So sometimes you want to check because if you say copy for something from the US or UK, you might get it wrong because UK, US is a different economy, different people. But if you see something that's worked in Lagos, there's a very high chance that if you create something similar in Lorry, it will work. Very high chance. You still have to test it though. You still have to speak to people and be sure that this is something they will pay money for, right? But I will say still like an artist, solve problems that exist in your local economy, but you've seen a ready solution that is relevant to the Nigerian economy, right? Find something that is already working. For example, there are ride hailing, not ride hailing is going far. There's logistic business, the business that will always make money in this life and in the next life, right? So there are these companies that are doing fairly well in Lagos. There's fares. I know InDrive people and Uber, they're still trying to they're coming for their money, right? But there are few, logistic companies that are getting it right. Even Child Deck uses logistics. They have their own logistics riders and stuff, right? But if you see how if you go and study how Fez is FEZ, how Fez is currently running their business and how they're growing, ask yourself, if you check, most of the time they operate mainly in Lagos and they have maybe some outlets in some other states. Can you create a Fez version for your like right now? How if people wanted to use people want to send things, but what they might probably do is they just hail a bike because bikes are still very rampant in Ilorin, right? You just hail a bike and you give the bike and say, oh, help me and carry it to that place. Right? But what if what if like you created a product that those bike men can download and use and you turn them from just bike men to logistics, deliverers, delivery guys, right? Because that's what Child did. You know what Child did? Like I think it was Child that did it or Global. I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm not sure. But I know they both do it. So I'm going to give credit to both of them because I don't know who started it first, right? Now, Chadwick and Global, they did something very amazing. So I think it was the period where there was like there was a hike in fuel. I think I'm not sure, right? And you know how when there's hike in fuel and you're finding it hard to get fuel, it means that your riders will find it difficult to buy fuel, right? and they will also increase your dispatch cost. So if normally you're supposed to pay 2,000 naira, if they are buying for expensive, your 2,000 become like 3,000, 4,000. Okay, child there. Thank you so much for me. So what they then did was they started using bicycles to deliver. Bicycles don't need fuel, my brother, my sister. They need not fuel. That one they just not fuel to use the bicycle, right? So they started using bicycles. Guess what? Yes, it's slower, but what they started doing was it's something that they say, because I'm not in logistics space. Something they say in logistics space, it's called last mile delivery. So in English, let me tell you what that means. So they will look for a ride. They were using students a lot. They did it. In fact, this was very strategic. We use students. So because it was mostly younger people that would stay at bicycle, right? So what they used to do was they would ask you to sign up with your bicycle and all, right? And they will tell you that, oh, maybe you are a student in Yaba or you live in Yaba. They will only give you clients inside Yaba. So you're not bicycling from Yaba to Lekki. I don't know if you guys know Lagos very well. Sorry, I can't use 11 examples. I'm not familiar. Sorry, but Yaba is somewhere on Lagos mainland. Lekki is on the island, and if there's no traffic, it's about maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, right? They will not ask you to bicycle from that Yaba that is 30 minutes, 1 hour to Lekki Phase 1. You are going to be bicycling 5-10 minutes inside your area. Yaba is a bit too big. Yaba is about, if the bicycle I remember about 10-15 minutes, but sometimes the distance you are going is about 2 minutes, 5 minutes. So guess what? You can do more deliveries in a day because you are just doing Yaba alone. You can do 5, 10, 20 in a day if you're doing this full time, not part time, right? You can do like 5, 10 in a day. But guess what? You are not spending anything on transportation. You're not buying fuel. So what they did was they were able to keep the transportation cost to a minimum because what you are buying is not expensive. You are buying food of 3,000 naira, 4,000 naira. You are not going to spend another 4,000 naira on transport. That's the truth, right? So what we're doing is service charge will be like, I think it's about 20% or so. So your food is 3,000 naira, service charge will be like maybe 600, right? Your transportation is 500 naira, it's about 10%, 15% of what you're buying. 500 naira. That's because the person that is going to deliver it is driving bicycle and is probably, a student of lag or one of those other universities in Yaba. And they will arrive in 5-10 minutes sometimes. Sometimes it takes longer because they have to wait for the vendor to make food and all, right? I don't know who did it. I don't know where they got it from. But I'm saying that you can create something similar for the market. Bring all the bicycles together, bring all the bikes together, and use them for see logistics business and e-commerce and food business, logistics business, e-commerce business. Those are businesses that we always make money. Like you be making money, making money daily, like daily money. Like every day we make money, every single day. So I'm saying that sometimes we're trying to solve innovation. You cannot be solving innovation when people are hungry, when where you are based is not a developed space. You first solve the basic problem first. Like help people get data, help people get data cheaper, help people get stronger network, right? Like bring internet back closer to them. Help people buy laptops and phones cheaper, or sell their old phones or sell their old laptops easier. Like solve basic problems first. Before so I see people and they come and say, "Oh, I'm doing innovation AI, AI product. I want to use AI to change the health sector. AI. I'm not saying don't use AI, but I'm saying that you cannot be doing innovation when basic problems have not been solved. If you're trying to do innovation when basic problems have been solved, what will happen is you're going to create an amazing, beautiful product that nobody would find valuable enough to pay for. They will like the idea of the product though, but it's not touching grass like this. Like when people are being on a risk, you say go and touch grass. Like go and touch grass outside. Go Go and feel the reality. Like, why are you stressing me about AI when I'm trying to locate an area in Lorry, and I've entered buses, I've entered bikes, I've entered along. I don't know if there's along in Lorry, I know there's along where I'm coming from, right? And I'm still finding it difficult to locate. Maybe the I don't know. I'm trying to use Google Maps. Google Maps is not mapping, right? I have real problems, or I'm trying to buy something. I don't want to. I don't want to leave my house. Or I don't want to leave my hotel because I don't really know anywhere, right? Do I have to call? Like, I remember before I started using now, to be honest, I used to use Fairs a lot. When I stopped using Fairs, I use I use let me see, me and my EA, right? EA is executive assistant. We use like Bolt, InDrive, couriers, Uber couriers now. Let me not lie, I don't use Fairs. Is my I know the founder is my friend, but I will not lie. The reason I don't use Fairs anymore is because Fairs does not do instant delivery. They do next day delivery. So it only works if I had something involved, or if I have something that I was trying to sell. Let's say I have a gift for I have women coming in. Let's imagine I have a gift for 10 women, right? And I have their addresses, and I wanted to surprise them. I might use first, right? So they'll come and pick it up for me today. I give them the addresses, and they'll go and deliver to each of the 10 people tomorrow. Fantastic. And it'll probably be a little bit cheaper, right? But to be honest, first started increasing their price. So I realized that the price they're charging for next day was almost the same price with Uber doing it now. So what Uber and Indra were doing for me was they're giving me speed, right? Not just so Spec was telling me convenience and safety, but Uber so so every business you have to ask yourself, what are you selling? Like, what is the value you're selling, right? So first is selling me convenience and safety, but my Uber and Bolt people are selling me speed. So if I want to, so I read books a lot. I'm a book person, and I'm part of three book clubs, like one, two, three. So each month, each of them will call a book. So I'm always buying books. I buy at least 3 books a month because of my book clubs, right? Now, and sometimes the book is very annoying to get. Like this, let me tell you a real life example. For the 3 books I wanted, one, there's a company called Roving Heights. I don't know if you guys know them. It's a company. It's not a tech company. It's a bookstore in Lagos. I bought one from Roving Heights. I bought one from Konga. Then the third one, I found a vendor somewhere that had the book that sent it to me. So that's 3 different couriers bringing 3 different books, right? I used the app and they delivered it, right? So I'm saying that I'm right now. I won't lie to you. Let me know. Let me just say the truth right now. I'm a very lazy person, extremely lazy. I like to be inside my house and everything will come to my house. Courier, courier, courier. Like every time I leave my house, it's courier that I'm coming that is about me. Courier. I like so tech apps were made for me. Like they were made for me because I like to shop on my phone, on my laptop, and put the card and press send, and then you will deliver it to my house. Like, what would make me leave my house? That product is not for me, right? So, and there are people like me. That's why travel tech and people like that they're making money, right? So let's come back. You need to figure out problems that exist, similar problems that exist in Lagos market. Lagos is a very developed market, right? And see how they are doing well. Study them very well and do your research locally, right? This solution they have, the problem they are solving, do we have the same problem in Ilorin and Kwara State? If it's yes, great. These people that have the same problem, do they have the purchasing power? Which means do they have money? It is one thing for you to say, oh, child deck is making money. If you go to Ilorin, for example, and you then say you want to onboard vendors, even if the food is, let's say food is 3,000 naira, are you going to find people that will agree to pay you an extra 1,000, 1,005 to get that food to the customer? I'm not lying to you. Food is 3,000 naira. By the time they deliver the food to me, it's 4, 5, sometimes or 5,000, right? So there's the educated younger people market who would value convenience over, going, because if they have to leave their house and enter a cab or enter a bus to go to that vendor's place and then wait and buy the food and go home, that's time, that's money. So they are willing to spend that money on top of the food because of the convenience. But it might not be the same in Lorry. Some people say, yeah, broker that is selling rice down the road. I should pay you 1,500 extra for what I can just cross the road and buy. So it might not work because because your market does not consider it valuable to give you extra money, like 1,000 naira extra, 1,500 extra to go and buy what is in their neighborhood when they can walk like 5-10 minutes and buy the food by themselves. Then you now say, I will help you and pick it up and bring it to your house. They might not agree. So, and I'll tell you one thing my mentor told me, to be honest. I still use the principle. In fact, I use that same principle like 2 weeks, and I'll tell you how I did it. He's telling me that, see, so when you have this amazing idea, beautiful idea, that you think, this is a banking product. I've seen the money I used to retire. I've seen the product and business that if I launch it today, retirement is sure. All the money I'll make from it, right? Trust me, I've had many of those ideas in my life. I'm still not retired. I'm still working, right? So I'm going to meet my. You tell me, oh yeah, calm down. You ask me a few questions. Who is this solution you say you created? What's the problem that is solved? Can you describe the problem? Because sometimes as startup founders, we're very we're visionaries, we're big on solutions. Sit down and ask yourself, what is the like? Can you describe the problem? Because sometimes we are creating solution without even understanding the problem. So if you ask me, what is the problem you're trying to solve? And when I experience like this problem is not a real problem, can you refine it properly again? Refine it like, is it a real problem? Minus you, if you remove yourself from the situation, you speak to somebody that the target audience. Second question, who's the target audience? You speak to the target audience, would they describe this problem as a real problem? Right? So if you ask me the problem, if you ask me who the target audience is, if you ask me where these people are, like where can you find them, right? If you ask me is there a similar solution? How are these people currently solving this problem? How? Describe it. Even if it's not a product, describe it, right? Then after that, you now ask me if it's a product, how much are they paying for that product, right? Then how is your own different from this one that they're paying for? And then he asked me, if you pitch to them, will they agree to use your own product? Then you ask me, what are the odds? If you tell me, Faros, Kende knows this thing I'm talking about. You know how you see founders, your deck will say, I'm the first startup to ever build this product. Everybody's the first startup to build the product. And it's so amazing. Because they don't do research. If they do research, they will know that in Lagos alone, there are probably like 5 other people that are like, in Africa alone, there are probably like 10. If you go to the US, there are probably like 20. They don't do research. They feel like the way the idea just came, just dropped, God just say, my son. Let me look for my son that's in Lorry and give him this fantastic idea. Let me give Mohammed this fantastic, brilliant idea. Everybody's downloading that same idea. I promise you, like 20 that download that idea. It's first to execute well, right? So you're not this chosen child of God. Like, we're playing says you see me idea. So you need to do your homework beyond those ideas, right? So you say, okay, you ask me, even if people are not currently, there's no product like this, you think there's a product like this, how are they currently solving this problem? Let me give you a real life example. Unfortunately, there's not idea, but if I have a new community, it's called Kotere Lagos. I think Kende probably knows about it. So I came about this not because I wanted it, but because of a friend. So I've been attending events in Lagos, tech events for about 2 years. I've attended 271 events in 2 years. 111 in year one and 160 in year two, right? So I've done about 10 to 20 events a month, which is a lot. Trust me, I'm probably like the only person in Nigeria that does that. Like it's very difficult to do, but I'm very committed, right? I was doing it because I'm trying to build my brand, I'm trying to connect. Like I wasn't trying to do it for anybody, I was doing it for myself, right? Then as I was doing, unfortunately, as not unfortunately, as I was doing for myself, people started noticing me, people started following me. Oh, what are the events happening? They started following my page and all, right? Now, people started asking me, please, so when you are going, invite me now. Tell me when you are going. So I'm like, I can't tell all of you where I'm going. Can I create a broadcast group and just add all of you there so that I can just post the message once, all of you will get it? They say yes, they don't mind. For me, I like to do things. I have a background in marketing, so I like to do permission marketing, right? So they said yes. Next thing, if I knew there were 40 people in the group, right? So I was posting notice, posting. I did it for like a few months. Now in early January or late December, one of my friends was like, I've thought about making this a subscription community. I will pay for it too. Like this is so valuable. I feel like you should put more effort into it and get the product. I was saying no. May God not close your eyes when you're doing when customers give you correct feedback. I was like, no, I want to do it for e-pass, for the ecosystem, for the ecosystem. It was like, I'll better collect your money. So I asked him, which is why people need to ask questions. I asked him, if I create this subscription community and do everything you're asking, how much will you pay for it? I was not thinking monthly. He said, no, I will pay an annual fee of, he said, $100. It's okay. What about in Naira, about 150K? He said, yes, I will pay 150,000 Naira. I said, for me to be sending broadcast messages, you pay 150K. I said, just wait first. So the principle, one thing this story, what my mentor would tell me, he used to say, that was almost 90 sha. He used to say, talk to, when I come out discover this beautiful idea that I think would retire me, make me a billionaire. He was after I asked a lot of questions about who is it for, what's the problem, solution, all that stuff. He then tell me, okay, this target audience that you will help me refine the problem, you help me refine the solution, right? He will now say, look for 150 people who fit the target audience of this product, and then pitch to them. Send them a simple message pitching to them saying, oh, I am trying to build this product to solve this problem. Is this something that you'd be interested in? Like I said, my mentor was this, okay, this is stress on this life. So me, I don't do 150, I do 50 because under 50 is very hard. So I do 50. So what I then did was, so by the time I was speaking to this guy, my broadcast group of 40 was already like 250. The first thing I did was I did another broadcast. I sent a message on my status on in different groups. I was like, please, if you like to get updates about events in Lagos, send me a DM. My brother, my sister. In less than a week, I had created two broadcast groups. So now I have about, it's not much, about I think 300 or 315 or about 300, 350 people, right? That are interested in hearing from me. So me, I was like, I started calculating my money 150 times 300. So what I then did was I checked all because these are people I know. So I checked all the people and I said, okay, let me find 50 people that I think have money. Let me not lie. That's what I was looking for. People that are executives and they have money, right? So I wrote down the names of 50 people from that 300 plus people. And then I crafted same thing my mentor taught me. I crafted a message and I sent it to them. Hello, I'm trying to create a podcast group, membership, a community that can do this. I'm sending you events, invite only, everything. I'll do all the research. I'll share with you every month, every once a week, where I'll share with you, emails by email and by WhatsApp. You know, if I was to charge 150,000 naira per year, will you pay for it? Now, I got about a lot of people said no, right? Some people said, I know, let me pay you 10,000 naira first. Let me do quarterly plan, let me do monthly plan. Right now, I got 22 people out of the 50 people that said yes, I would pay. Right now, after that, I went to refine the product again. And I came back and I was like, oh, it's refined. Do you still pay? They said yes. I said it's 150K. Okay. Some people said yes, it's fine. Some people said, oh, can I get a discount? Some people said it's too cheap. I said this is what they call ideal of target audience, right? So I then said, okay, after these 20 people, how many of them are ready now? Because I want to start in February. Now, after the 20, 10 of them are ready now. I've sent them invoices. About, I think, two people are paid. The remaining will pay this week, right? Now let me shock you with something. I just went to go and I went to go and register my domain name, right? And I created Google form. It's Google form I'm using to collect 1,000 naira from them. I don't have technology yet. I've called a development company to build for me. They said they will build my site for 500,000. I said they should wait first. Let me make money. I don't have a website, and I'm going to in the next 2 months I will make 3 million naira from that product. of that community. And the reason why I'm making that money is because I did what my mentor said. First of all, somebody gave me an idea and said, "Oh, I will pay." But guess what? The reason why I had to do those creative was because sometimes your friends are boboing you. Your friend may be just be dashing you money because they like your face. It may not be a real demand. So don't get carried away by one customer. One customer paid you 1 million, it does not mean it's a product. So that's why me, I don't get carried away by one person. So that's why I said, if for example, if I sent a message to all those people and they all said no, I would just tell my friend, keep your money, oh. I'm doing it for free, or I won't do it at all. Because this is not a real product. It's not a product, it's not a real product because it's not a problem people are ready to pay money for. So if it's not a problem I'm ready to pay money for, I have two choices. I do it as a hobby, or I don't do it at all. So I'm saying that, guys, especially that they are interested like me, take your idea, write it on a piece of paper, send it to people and your target audience, or go and have a physical meeting with them if you can. Go to their shop, their offices, ask them questions. Can you describe this problem to me in detail? Why is it frustrating to you? How are you currently solving this problem? Now, if you ask me who are my competitors, I'm not going to lie that I don't have competitors. So, for example, me, I was feeling very inspired, like, oh my God, I'm the best in sliced bread. Guess what? When I sent that message to that broadcast group, somebody sent me a message. Apparently, there's a company in, I think, I don't know where the company is, I think Australia or somewhere. The baby is doing exactly what I want to do right now. Like word for word, line for line. That company is doing exactly what I want to do right now. So she sent me the website and sent me the name of the founder. Immediately, I went to connect with her on LinkedIn. And she said, she was like, oh, why did you connect with me? I said, please, oh, I want to do the same thing you are doing in your country. I want to do it in Lagos. When can we get on a call? So you can teach me. So I won't pay school fees. All the school fees you have paid, I will learn from you. I didn't tell her that because she's in Nigeria, she won't understand. But so as I'm saying that more people come and say the fact that you have an innovative idea, yes, it's innovative, it's fantastic. In Nigeria, I won't lie to you, there's nobody doing what I'm doing right now in Nigeria, right? But guess what? There's at least one person in the world that is doing it. In fact, I even know someone else that did it. His name is Daniel Presley. He even wrote a book about it. 5 seconds of influence or something, right? It's the same thing. He wrote that book like 10, 15 years ago. Same principle. So the fact that I just got the idea now, 2006, it doesn't mean that is a new idea. It just means it's new to me. It's left to me to do that research to find other people doing similar and learn from them. Learn from them. Who's my competition right now in Lagos? My competition is all the event sites, Event Hive, Tix Africa, Lumit, Luma. All these are my competition because the truth is that sometimes you ask yourself, Nigerians were very manual people, right? So, but Nigeria, like I used to do costing. I didn't say I used to do costing. Nigerians, they stress. Their normal is stress is like normal for them. Let me give you context. So I used to run an online course. Let me tell you how I was running my online course. I would, because I was running a Facebook community that time. I used like 5 apps for the same course. So I promoted it on Facebook, right? I think I had a Facebook group for the people that paid for the course. I had a WhatsApp group for people that paid for the course. I was using Zoom to do the live recording for course. Then I was using Google Classroom to upload the lessons of the course. I think I even used YouTube safe, right? Then I used Paystack to collect money. I used like 5, 7 different apps because all of them were free. The people that were running LMS, oh, come and build your online school on my website, were charging me $39 per month. Do you know how much that is in naira? A lot of money. How much am I charging for my online course? That time I was charging like 10,000 naira, 20,000 and 50,000 naira for the course. And I only had like 10 people in the course. Then you want to collecting that kind of money from me every month. So I won't be. So like Nigerians are very okay with manual. Like instead of using your accounting app, they will bring biro and paper and be writing their transaction. They will rather do that than pay you 5 naira. So that's the kind of people they are dealing with. So, which is why make sure that your product is not a nice to have. Make sure it's not a Panadol problem. Make sure it's a migraine problem. Because when you're the problem yourself is a migraine problem, they may not like it. They may not, they may have other options. But because they need that product for something important in their life or in their business, they have no choice but to use it. For example, Paystack does not really do too much marketing to businesses. No. They don't. Because if you want to do payments gateway, you cannot, if you're not using Paystack or using Passage or you're using Flutterwave, there are only three in Nigeria. The other ones don't count. So if you cannot collect money without their gateway from your customers, so they don't really do too much marketing like that because you need their products to make collect money in your business, right? So I'm saying that you need to do that research, and if you do that research, you find out that people are like, someone can tell me, why should I pay you 1,000 when I can go on this side? I'm like, yes, but guess what? I'm not saying that you cannot find those things. I'm saying that I'm going to crunch time for you by bringing them to you every week. Also, I'm going to curate events that are not publishing on social media. They're not on those apps because I have the access, you don't have the access. So I'm selling my access, I'm selling my brand, which you don't have, right? But some people say, oh, I've built my own brand. So me too. I'm a speaker, they invite me. That means you don't need my product. You're not my target audience. My target audience don't have that access. That's why they're paying for it. My target audience wants me to do that work of curating for them because they're too busy to curate for themselves. They want me to curate and write commentary and say, because you know, it's attend 271 events. I'm an event expert. I can tell you the events to attend, the ones not to attend, the ones that will waste your money and your time, the ones that will give you value. Because I've been there before. So I know what they can do. You are just seeing flyer and you're seeing websites. I attended their event last year. So I know if it's good or not. So you can't buy that experience on Eventbrite. You can on Eventbrite. You can't buy it. You can't buy my 2 years of experience in the space. You can't because it's my lived experience.
Yeah, thank you
So
so
what
much,
what what
Esohe.
yeah, so I'm wrapping up, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you need to do that research, right? And figure out what is the problem that people currently have, target audience that you're focused on. How are they solving it? How is your own product different, right? Then when you then do that, then you create a, so when people say minimum viable product, it's not tech. And people get it wrong all the time. It's not tech. It's just the very basic form. For example, my current MVP is my Google form. That's where people are signing up for my service. For my Google form, I'm going to move their email to MailChimp or one of these email servers where they'll be getting emails. So sometimes Google form is an Excel sheet. It's a simple WordPress website, right? So of course I know that investors want what are you meeting investors? Most people always get it wrong. Investors are not relevant to you until like proceed seed stage. People that are relevant to you at the early stage are family and friends or your own personal money or acceleration and incubators who will take you at ideation stage. So like you need to in your basic product form, get paying customers. Use your customers' money. Like this, my website company that says the 1,500K. I'm going to use the money from the company to pay the website person. So use the company money you're generated from customers to build your company. Let your company run on revenue, not investors' funds, right? And I hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to confuse and not convince you, right? That you need, I know we're talking about skills with structure, but the basics are important because of the target audience here. And I would say if you master the basics, you are going to have a revenue generating business. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esohe. That was highly inspiring and very, very productive. Thank you so much. I think everyone has a wonderful time with understanding how startup at scale work. It is not just about combining tech, it's about understanding the structure at the beginning. And Esohe has done justice to that by sharing us a perfect guide on how we can think beyond income rather than to organize our idea first and also begin to build the startups that we have to attract opportunities, partnership, and investment. So everything should not be centered around high tech, high tech, high tech. Understand the basic, understand your problems, the problems you are willing to solve critically, and also focus on solving these problems for your local environment. And I think that is it's truly a gem session, and I believe we will be able to upload this to our larger audience. Thank you so much. On this note, we will take a few questions. If you have any question for our um, speaker, it's high time you come forward. This is your time to shine. I think while we are on the call, some people joined us. Okay. Abdelmumin asked if there is a way to connect with Esohe. If you're on the Korabit community, we'll be dropping official socials shortly so that you can connect with her directly. Yeah, Mohammed, do you have any question for Esohe? Mohammed has a startup he's building, and Olumo also. Do you have any question for Esohe as regards to this inspiring session? Thank you so much, Esohe, once again. Okay, Itohan and Abiodun, if you have any question, I think Francis joined a little bit late. If you have any question for our speaker, kindly put it forward, or you can put it to later. Okay. Okay, Abdul Momin, you have a question? Kindly unmute and ask.
So Nigeria has about 40% mobile phone penetration. Sorry, penetration. So there are a lot of people using mobile phones across the country. Do you think it's now time to start building tech-based solutions to some of the issues they have? And of course, you do see that in the fintech space with the amount of basically companies that are coming out of Lagos and so on. So do you think it's time to start working in that area?
Do I think it's time to do what?
To start working to build tech-based solutions like apps and maybe websites and solutions that you can use to your phone.
Okay, so first of all, growth stage, most growth stage, if not all growth, let's say most growth stage tech startups, let's say one focus on Nigeria, have both web apps and mobile apps already, right? I think mobile adoption is not really the big deal. The big deal is how do you how do you use feature phones? How do you allow feature phones to be able also access technology solutions? So feature phones are Nokia touchlights, right? Sorry, so like I speak the language that people understand, right? So your Nokia touchlight phone, right, is a feature phone. Now, the two ways that people that use feature phones are, to be honest, they are more than all of us were in a bubble. If you use Samsung and iPhone in this on this chart, you are the exceptional. You are the 1%. It's not everybody that does that. Most people don't buy smartphones. I'm talking about the common man, right? They don't buy smartphones, they buy feature phones, right? So how are they accessing technology? They're accessing it via USSD. USSD when you do star 737. They're going to USSD and through agents network. So the agents are educated, they're trained on how to use the POS as a mini banking solution or whatever it is you're using it for. And then those agents typically then help the people around them to basically do business. Now, I shop in Lagos, and in the last few days that I've been shopping, I shopped from some local vendors, and I could see some ecosystem being created. Let me explain what I mean. So I bought, I think it was time, it was on the time I wanted to pay a Keke Mara I entered, and I'm this lazy person because I told them already I'm a very lazy person. That I'm very casual. I don't carry cash, right? So I wanted to pay this guy. Guy was like, "Madam, I don't carry cash. I don't collect transfer." And I was supposed to pay him like 200 or something. Or probably, I can't remember what it was. So he was like, he just parked in front of the POS person and said, I should consult with the person and the person would give him. Now that's the only different situation. Now, I noticed that some of these people, they either put their stalls around the POS person, or a POS person goes to put a stall beside them, a chair also beside them. So some of them deliberately don't collect transfer because they don't have a bank account. So what they would do is they would ask to pay the money they're supposed to pay them to the POS person, and then sometimes they would say add charges, and then sometimes they may not add charges, right? And that person will give them cash. If they want to transfer money to somebody, that person will do their banking for them. So unfortunately, for us to have real tech penetration, that's the only two ways I would see it work. USSD and feature phones. Now, if you're a tech startup and you're trying to scale, I do agree that with more internet access in Nigeria and more mobile penetration, that's good news for you because as you scale, it means that people can find your app, your mobile app, your web app. They can download it, they can use it in all over the country. So that's good news for you. But it's not that you are building for the mobile infrastructure. It's that you are going to be deploying your service, and as you scale, you will not leverage the internet infrastructure that already exists.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Esohe. Did you have a follow-up question for that at the moment? Are we good?
Yeah, no, I perfectly understand that. It's I was kind of looking at it from a privileged mindset and don't actually
Okay.
have the access. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Abiodun, you're up next. Please ask your question. Or ask your question.
All right. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Ma. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So my question is, Ma, how do we, sorry for that. How do we tackle this problem of, okay, I'm actually trying to solve a problem, but whereas it's actually disguised as a problem, like I'm actually trying to solve because I've seen a lot of people, yeah, they actually want to solve this problem, but it's actually a problem again that they're actually creating. So how do we kind of
Give
bridge
me
this issue, ma?
examples. Give me examples.
Okay. Example I can pick up now is okay, the issue of AI now, artificial intelligence now. Yeah, actually, it's actually a, how will I put it? It's actually a solution, but there are problems now arising from it. Like they are using AI to pass misinformation and all of that. That even let's say a local person around will not have the access to go and verify that details. I think I saw one
Yeah.
circulating where an AI someone used channel news to actually say, okay, invest in this app and all of that. So
Okay.
let's say
I get,
peradventure
I get your
someone who don't
question.
have access
I
to the
get I
internet.
get a question now. I get a question. So I would say that there are a few ways to solve those things. Corporate governance and then industry regulation, right? Corporate governance is part of the system that you create in your business. So it's as simple as you have in it. So when you build a startup from the very beginning, the first thing you want to do is register with CAC, right? After you register with CAC, you would hire you create system to your business, SOPs, you hire people. Now, as you grow, what you want to do is you want to have advisors, mentors, right? You reach out to them one by one to say, oh, Kamadin, can you mentor me? Or Esohe, can you mentor me? Ideally, have 3 to 5 of those people. When you have 3 to 5 people that are consistently mentoring you on your business, ask them, would you like to join my board of advisors? Just an informal board that meets to discuss my business every 3 months on online or in person, right? Now, from that, so early companies need a BOA, right? After BOA, that's you don't have proper board when you're a registered company. So that's board of directors. But at the beginning, you have board of advisors. Now, your board of advisors are supposed to advise you, right? They don't really have any let me not use that ones. They don't really have any share or stake in your business. Just advising, which means that you can take the advice, you cannot take the advice. But your BOD, your board of directors can sack you if you disobey them. If you do what is not good for the company, they can fire you. Go and ask Ezra, right? So it's a different thing entirely. Now, corporate governance is important because it guards a company. So you can have internal corporate governance within the company, and then sometimes external regulations. Now, let me give you examples based on what you just said. So, for example, there was the era of Gokada, Max Kada, and all those people that were doing bike hailing in Lagos, and they grew so fast. They raised so much money. They bought so much bikes, and they were causing traffic in Lagos. It was a mess. Every bus stop where you have hundreds of those bikes. They were competing with the regular bike men, and they were just causing traffic on the road, right? So one day the governor just woke up and said, "These people are causing a nuisance to this my state. And if I allow this to continue, people will cause more nuisance, right?" So what he just did was he just banned them, bike ban. So if you're in a major part of Lagos, like Yaba, like if there's one, etc., you cannot see bike anywhere. They ban them. So what they then did was get the hinterland then. So sorry if I don't know Lagos, I'm not mentioning place. So if you're in core, like just like imagine very central, like core places in town, no bikes. But if you are the interlands, the village sides, the outskirts, right? They allow them to have bikes. So Ikorodu people have bikes. Festa people have bikes. Aja people have bikes. Songo they don't have bikes. But in the main town where you have a cluster of commercial activity, where there's a lot of traffic, no bikes, right? Or more, Gokada shut down. That thing shut down a lot of businesses. Even OP had all right. What saved them was they had other businesses that they were doing well. So when all right shut down, they could pivot. People that their entire business was bike, they had to shut down, right? So sometimes regulation can restrict or can even shut down the operation, right? Good regulation should curtail, not kill the business, right? So I would say regulation sometimes would be a way that can help. Sometimes it's just the nature of life. As you solve one problem, you another problem. So for example, now if you like me now, I like to be a homebody and other things to my house. I'm denying myself of exercise, of walking around my environment and talking to people, right? Or what else am I going to? I'm trying to look for examples that are very relevant to the conversation. Or like yeah, so you know how when you're going to school, right? Your teacher is writing with marker or chalk on the wall on the board, and you have book and paper, right? A lot of times, these new age kids, especially these private schools, they have tablets. They are reading their lessons, and they're not really writing in the school anymore, right? So some of the disadvantage of that is that a lot of screen time in the eyes. The kids are lazier because they cannot really do and reading and writing even as a child how you perfect your handwriting. Now another perfect example, ChatGPT. So some of you are young here, right? But in the time that me and Kamadi went to university, they give us assignments, there was nothing like ChatGPT. There was internet, there was Google. But Google was very difficult to use sometimes. You would actually like Google it and to give you nonsense articles. None of them are related to each other. So you would even be researching the Google and Google be frustrating you. So most people would even leave Google. They will go to library. When I say library, people don't understand what you don't even know what a library is. Some of you in this call, you have never entered a library in your life before. Like apart from when you were in university, like that you entered, like you entered deliberate, like you woke up and entered library like intentionally. It's not you, right? We started library, bring books to research. Guess what? This ain't nobody's doing anymore. You just go to ChatGPT, you copy the assignment and you paste it there. ChatGPT will give you the answer in 2 minutes. What is take us hours to do, right? So now nobody is reading, nobody is writing project. Project that your professor is saying read chapter 1, you have already done 1 to 5 because of ChatGPT. So, and then you're using ChatGPT to write. Your lecturer is using ChatGPT to mark you. So everybody just doing nonsense AI work, right? So there are sometimes what is supposed to help you to be productive, it now causes you to be very lazy. You don't have critical reasoning skills, not having social skills, not having the personal skills because you're not relating to people anymore. It's app they are talking to. You're not doing group assignments with your, let's say group assignment, group of 10, 20. Nobody's doing that anymore. They just go to ChatGPT, copy and paste, and they go to submit the answer on behalf of the group, right? So there's certain things that we have lost because of technology. Like growing up and Hamadi, when we want to play as children, like TV did not. I feel old as I'm saying this thing. TV did not start at 4 p.m. Like not 4 a.m. 4 p.m. in the evening. That's when TV started. Like there's no TV till 4 p.m. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like TV is off. There's nothing on the show. Now you have 24 hours. There's no TV till 4. So when I come back from school, I want to play. I will go outside with my siblings and my neighbor. We'll be playing 10-10, we'll play police and thief, we'll be playing, husband and wife, we'll playing a lot of things. We'll be doing catapults. Like we'll be proper play. Then when we're not tired, we'll go and bath, we'll not eat, we'll play football. And then we'll not start watching cartoon. My cartoon just like maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. Then we'll not do news. Then TV will not go off maybe around 9 or 10 or so in the night. So we're going. Like so we didn't have a choice. We wanted to relax. We either read books like novels or stuff, or go out and play. Now there's TV 24 hours. Now kids that are 0 years old, they have tablets. I had my first phone after I finished from secondary school. I was 16 years old when I got my first phone. I was not a smartphone, oh. It was a touchlight phone. And I was dancing like they gave me a for 17. It was a touchlight phone I had when I was 16, not my first phone that I had at 16 years old. Some children with 0 years old they already have tablets, right? So we're in different times, right? So sometimes technology hinders us, sometimes it helps us. But I'll say guardrails, like parents now, they put screen time on tablets and phone and TV. They actually like will lock it in. Once you've done 3 hours, the child cannot access it anymore. So there has to be governance, either governance from the parents, governance from the company, governance from the regulator. But you have to put guardrails. If not, everywhere will spoil. So yes, I would say corporate governance, individual governance, parental governance, and then regulators. That's how we can try to hinder or reduce the effect of some of these technology solutions.
Okay, thank you so much, Esohe. We have taken a lot of your time this evening, and I think it's really worth it for the audience because we've learned a lot about how to put a proper structure and how to be more optimistic around what you're doing and how to refine your idea purposely for the solution you are providing. So, and also to prioritize more solution-oriented platform than you contributing to more problems. Thank you so much, SOE. I can't thank you enough for this session because I know what it was if we are to quantify it in dollar. Thank you so much. And everyone, before we go, please let's give it up for SOE by using our emoji as we say good night and thank you for today's session. Have a wonderful time. Bye.
Thank you too. Bye.
Okay, so